The video is chilling. A woman is seen murdering another woman, execution style, in New York City.
Believe it or not, the women in this
What's going on, y'all? We're back at it again with another video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and let's get right into it.
horrifying footage were actually friends. But something happened and they fell out, leading to this moment where Claudia Banton gunned down Dalia Johnson in cold blood. She then casually walked back into her car like it was nothing.
They took my pretty black baby.
You see somebody you had your hand in raising that took my baby. I just don't understand it.
Why would someone do this to their friend? Why are there so many cases of gun violence happening in New York City? Let's explore this and more similar cases in this video. On August 4th, 2021, at around 9:40 p.m., Dalia Johnson, a 42-year-old woman from Crown Heights, Brooklyn, was standing on a sidewalk talking to some friends when someone came and killed her. The chilling moment was captured on CCTV footage, and it shows a woman dressed in all black coming out of a white car and walking towards Dalia with one hand behind her back. She then suddenly pulls out a gun and fires point blank at Dalia's head. As Dalia collapses on the ground in front of the horrified onlookers, the woman casually walks to her car and drives off. Tragically, Dalia was pronounced dead at the scene. Dalia's family and the entire community were shocked by Dalia's murder because she didn't have any enemies. Why would someone do that to her?
For Dalia Johnson's family, the grieving process has only begun.
They be the closest people to you, too. She said it was her friend. That's all bad. You gotta watch who you keep around you.
They took my pretty black baby.
The 42-year-old was murdered Wednesday night around 9:45 on Franklin Avenue near Prospect Place. Johnson was struck in the head and leg. Johnson's family doesn't understand why anyone would want to harm her.
This was senseless. Stop the violence because it's too much.
Dalia was a hard-working businesswoman and a loving mom to her 17-year-old daughter, whom she was raising on her own. Her family and friends described her as a kind-hearted person and was always ready to help anyone in need.
Her community loved her, and that's real. Delia didn't care if you was down on your luck and was hungry, she would feed you.
She would give you the clothes right off her back, right there and then, no matter where you was. If you needed something, she would give it to you.
Affectionate smile, always happy. When I feel like at my worst, this girl would get me up and be like, pull it together. She was everything, trust me.
What made things even harder for the family was the killer was someone they knew and even considered a friend. Her name was Claudia Banton, and according to the family, she and Dalia had been friends for years. Dalia's mother even helped raise her.
You see somebody you had your hand in raising that took my baby. I just don't understand it.
The two were always together, attending each other's family events, celebrations, and holidays. However, in the weeks leading up to the killing, the two friends had reportedly fallen out for some reason and would argue over the slightest thing. Hours before the murder, Dalia had reportedly attended a funeral of an old friend, and Claudia happened to be there also. It's not clear what happened at the funeral, but later, Dalia was talking to some friends when she received a phone call. Her friend said that she told them that she'll be right back and left. Then 20 minutes later, they received the horrifying news that Dalia had been killed. One of Dalia's sisters said that she was looking for a parking space when she saw an ambulance passing by, not realizing it was for her sister. "I ran down the street trying to get to her, but by the time I got to her, they took her." She was convinced that the person who had called her sister that night knew that she was going to be murdered and had set her up. Dalia's devastated mom struggled to understand why Claudia did what she did, saying, "Why did you slaughter her like that? I just want to know why. What could she have done to you that you couldn't come and knock on my door and tell me? I would have straightened it out for both of you all. She was my baby. This person that shot my daughter, may God have mercy on your family because we put curses on ourselves when we do things."
I never dreamed of losing any of my children to this kind of violence.
Dalia's wake was attended by hundreds of mourners who came to pay their respect and comfort the family. They
Dang, that's crazy to have hundreds of people at your funeral. That means you're really doing something in the community.
All called for justice and urged the killer to surrender to the police. Dalia's 17-year-old daughter said,
I just hope you realize what you did, and I wonder what made you do such a thing. Turn yourself in. She was basically your sister.
Meanwhile, efforts to find Claudia were still ongoing, with police asking anyone with information to come forward.
Public safety is a shared responsibility, so the police, we can't do it without your help. So if any information, please contact us.
Claudia managed to evade the police for more than 3 months until someone spotted her entering a car in Jacksonville, Florida, and called the police. Here's the body cam footage.
Dang, so she fled to Florida from New York. She went down south and someone else still caught her. That's crazy. You can't run from what you do.
Of her arrest.
Walk straight to me with your hands up. Walk straight to me. Keep your hands up. Don't do nothing stupid or I will you. Do you understand? Walk to me. Walk straight to me.
That woman right there, that's Claudia Benton, who officers took into custody after investigators tracked her down in a car on Main Street just north of Bush Drive here in Jacksonville. Her arrest came 3 months after the New York City Police Department put a call out for information.
You should see the video. It's bad. No. New York. Oh, really? She basically just walked up and executed a girl at a funeral.
Claudia was later extradited to New York City, where she faced murder charges.
A woman accused in the execution-style killing of a mother on a Brooklyn street is back in New York to face murder charges. Detectives escorted 42-year-old Claudia Williams from the 77th Precinct in Crown Heights this morning. She had been extradited from Florida, where she was arrested last week. Police say Williams was caught on surveillance camera in August, walking toward Delia Johnson and shooting her in the head.
Dalia's family and friends, who were still hurting from the incident, were relieved when they received news of Claudia's arrest.
Emotions are still raw 3 months later. The pain is still the same, but there is a sense of relief for Delia Johnson's mother. Now that Claudia Benton is behind bars, Johnson's mother could not find words to say how she feels about a break in the case.
I know you're hurting. I know it's hard. I know.
Feel good that they got her, yeah. You can run, but you can't hide.
It was later revealed that this was not Claudia's first rodeo with the police. Her criminal record shows that she had 9 prior arrests for various crimes, including assault, kidnapping, and robbery. Her first...
Dang, so she not new to this. For sure she not new to this. She was doing kidnappings and robberies. She really liked that for real.
Arrest was back in 1993 when she was still a teenager. She also went by various aliases, including Claudia Williams, Claudia Johnson, and Keisha Brown. But despite all the evidence against her and the fact that she was caught on camera, Claudia refused to talk to the police and pleaded not guilty to the charges. As of April 2024, Claudia is being held without bail to await trial. If found guilty of her charges, she faces 25 years to life in prison. In the meantime, Dalia's family is still grappling with their loss while hoping that justice will come sooner rather than later.
I have a 17-year-old granddaughter. Her mother not here. My granddaughter signed up for the Air Force. So when she finishes school next year, that's where she's going. She's gonna be somebody.
However horrifying Dalia's case may be, it's tragically not the only one of its kind. Jennifer Enoa was a 36-year-old medical assistant from Brooklyn, New York. She lived with her boyfriend of 4 years, Carlton Bush, and had 3 children, 2 boys aged 16 and 11, and a 14-year-old girl. She also had a 19-year-old daughter. On the Sunday evening of January 2nd, 2022, Jennifer was out with her dog Blue for their nightly walk when she decided to stop by a bodega. She and her Blue were at the register when a man walked in and began firing at them. Tragically, Jennifer and Blue were both hit. Blue died on the sidewalk, while Jennifer was rushed to the hospital where she was also pronounced dead. The horrifying moment was captured by a surveillance camera.
Security video inside this bodega on DeKalb Avenue shows 36-year-old Jennifer Enoa and her dog Blue at the register. Another man is standing nearby. Security video from across the street shows a car drive up alongside the white car parked out front. Then it pulls over at around 9:45 Sunday night. A man slowly walks over to the store while talking to someone who got out of the white car. Once the man gets to the door, he starts. Enoa is in the stomach. Her dog is struck too. They exit the store and immediately collapse on the sidewalk. Both murdered.
Jennifer was just a few blocks from her home, and according to Carlton, she would always stop by the store before heading home.
She went to the store like she normally does. She takes the dog for his late walk, and she comes back and probably sits there and reads her book and stuff, listens to music. She's a homebody.
Carlton said that Jennifer had called to say she was on her way home, seconds before she was killed.
I got a call from her. She said, "This is what I'm doing." I didn't think anything of it. Then I heard these shots, and I didn't think anything of it. I hear these all the time. Nobody I know is getting targeted. I didn't get a call back.
It was unclear at the time whether Jennifer was targeted or if the gunman was aiming for someone else in the shop. Another angle of the surveillance footage showed a man.
No, I ain't even gonna lie. The way he just walked down right on her and reloaded right before he got to her, she might have been the one that he was looking for. I'm not gonna lie.
Behind Jennifer, ducking for cover when the gunman began firing.
Chilling surveillance video shows Jennifer Enoa and her pit bull on a Brooklyn street as they enter a smoke shop. Then a man waving a gun chases after them, fires several times, killing them both.
Jennifer's devastated boyfriend, Carlton, believed that Jennifer was not really the target, as she didn't have any enemies.
She doesn't have any enemies. She goes to walk the dog and she goes to the store to probably get something to drink or something.
This heartbreaking incident shook the entire community, as many struggled to understand how someone would target a defenseless woman and an innocent dog.
It doesn't make any sense, and we'll find out. We'll find out. Like I said, this is a shock.
In the neighborhood, in the general neighborhood. Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? This is nuts.
Those who knew Jennifer described her as a really nice and friendly person who would always say hi to everyone she met.
She was a great person. I want to miss her. I want to miss her. I want to really miss her.
I know her too. No, when I see her, I just never knew her name. It's like, how you doing? Hey. That kind of stuff.
Jennifer's family and the community hoped the person responsible would be found soon, so justice would be served.
People walking around with guns and like it's the Wild West. I don't know what it is. So, a woman walking a dog with no threat. It's a coward.
Meanwhile, the police were trying everything they could to find the perpetrator, putting up posters and offering a reward of $3,500 to anyone who would help identify him. And after nearly 2 months, their efforts paid off.
This update tonight on the deadly shooting of a woman and her dog at a Brooklyn bodega. An arrest has been made in the killing of Jennifer Enoa. Police sources say she was not the intended target in the shooting last month in Bed-Stuy. 36-year-old Namel Colon is charged with murder and 2 counts of criminal possession of a weapon.
Dang, that's crazy. So she really wasn't the intended target. I was completely wrong. But if you going to do something like that, like, bro, if you going to walk down, like, come on now. Don't hit a woman and her dog. They ain't got nothing to do with it. Like, that's so out of, the whole situation is out of pocket for sure. But, like, do better. Even still, don't even do it. How about that?
It was revealed that the killer, Namel Colon, was a career criminal with 19 prior arrests, including 11 felony charges for burglary, robbery, and assault. He has been in and out of jail and was actually on parole when he committed this despicable crime. Namel was charged with murder and 2 counts of criminal possession of a weapon. When he was taken in for questioning, he refused to cooperate with the police and called for a lawyer.
That's kind of crazy. You a multiple time felon. You've been arrested 19 times. You're on parole. You go to do a murder. You hit the wrong person and a dog. Bro, you need some help. That's ridiculous.
As of April 2024, there have not been any updates on this case, but hopefully justice will be served. Jennifer and Blue were innocent bystanders who found themselves caught in the crossfire of something they knew nothing about.
Rest in
Unlike
peace.
this next case, where the victim was involved in the wrong crowd.
Surveillance video captured the moments before he was shot as he and a friend walked along the sidewalk. He went into the cafe as people inside ducked for cover, having heard the shots.
Growing up in an area where gangs are revered, 13-year-old Jaryan Elliott found himself in the middle of a raging Bronx street war. He was a member of the Crips, which is one of the largest and most violent associations of street gangs in the United States, with an estimated 30,000 to 35,000 members. The gang members have been involved in murders, robberies, and drug dealings, among other crimes. Despite having just graduated from middle school, Jaryan had been arrested 8 times for various crimes, including robbery and assault, and had spent time at a juvenile detention center. It's not clear when
8 times at 15, just 14, 13, whatever, just graduated middle school. Yikes.
Jaryan joined the Crips, or how long he had been with them. But according to his friend, he had been thinking of quitting and leaving the area so he could put his life back in order. Unfortunately, he never got a chance to do that. On July 11th, 2021, at around 3:15 p.m., Jaryan was walking down the street with a friend when suddenly someone began to fire at them. Surveillance footage shows Jaryan and his friend running, and he entered a nearby cafe for cover. But unfortunately, he was already hit. He was rushed to the hospital where doctors tried everything to save him, but it was already too late.
After those were fired, take a look at this video giving you kind of a closer look at the scene when took place. One of those witnesses, a young child, he said that he saw a car pull up and heard being fired. He said they sounded like fireworks, and a number of people in this area have been saying the same thing.
The community was completely shaken by Jaryan's death because of how young he was.
I don't even know what to think, man. Like, I just seen this kid the other day.
They didn't even get a chance to live his life.
I'm very hurt that a 13-year-old just died like that.
Honestly, he didn't just die like that. Like, we get that he's young, but like, it's just, at the same time, it's the lifestyle that he's living. There's nothing, like, you can't, once you jump off the porch, like, no one's going to exclude you from X, Y, and Z. Like, if you want to do that, they're going to treat you like you're doing that. Like, just because of your age, you're not excluded from these type of activities. Which rest in peace to this young man, but it's a part of the lifestyle that he was living, which is very, very unfortunate, especially that he was about to leave and try to make a new life. It sucks, wrong place, wrong time.
It turned out that Jaryan was one of 3 teens killed in the Bronx that week in what the police called a major gang war. His killing was believed to be a retaliation as he was reportedly on the scene when 16-year-old Ramon Gil Medrano was gunned down, though he was not the one who pulled the trigger.
Violence just needs to stop. Get the guns off the streets.
We just got to get together, make the neighborhoods better.
Gun violence has been a major issue in the United States, with New York City reporting an alarming rise in numbers of shooting incidents and victims. The NYPD data shows that there were 225 murders reported in 2021, compared to 215 the previous year. Shooting incidents in 2021 were recorded to be 931, compared to 762 in 2020. And horrifically, these numbers will continue rising if nothing is done about it.
Gun violence is spiking here in New York and around the country, and at the federal, state, and locals, good people are trying to do good work to stop this violence.
A 16-year-old was arrested in connection with Jaryan's murder and is currently...
This is exactly what I'm talking about. It's a 16-year-old who killed another 16-year-old. Like, regardless of your age, there's going to be people out there who are still looking for you. You're not going to be like, oh, he's only 13, he's only 16. Like, they don't care about none of that. They don't care about none of that.
Being held on charges of murder, manslaughter, and criminal possession of a firearm.
That's a young boy.
What do you...
All right, y'all. This one was a super interesting video. Rest in peace to all those young men and that woman who died along with her dog. Let me know what you guys think about this one in the comments below. Pretty controversial for you who don't know. In New York, carrying a gun or having a gun is like 20 years to life. Like, they are not playing in New York and people are still dying. That really unfortunate to have these people pass the way they did. But like I said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll go ahead and catch you on the next video.